Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good morning.
You've had a busy week so far, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? How are you guys doing? I hope well.
Good morning, everybody. It's a Wednesday. It's the hump day.
Get us over that hump, please. How's your hot chocolate this morning?
Good.
Yeah?
What you got is a different, taste to it. No?
No? Raspberry, white chocolate. I might have accidentally put vanilla in there instead of white chocolate.
Yeah, it got a little.
Whoopsie. I was cleaning my containers yesterday and I was like, oh, did I maybe not put them back in the right order?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I just squirted it in. So how was your weekend? Did you guys have a good weekend?
How's your weekend, Tay? How was your weekend?
Good morning.
All right. I had a good weekend. What did I do? Weekend. It's Wednesday, it's like...
I know, brain fog.
So we have to apologize. I had an unforeseen schedule conflict came up. So we're supposed to start this yesterday at 4:30 p.m.
Our new time slot, yeah.
Our new time slot will be at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we had an unforeseen circumstance came up. So we had to move the whole production to Wednesday morning. So please forgive us.
Appreciate your flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Following us wherever we go. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So, but Beck, I tell you, this morning was a very cold morning.
Yeah. No, this is a turtleneck.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a thin skin one. But yeah, it's chilly outside.
It was very chill. It's chilly this morning.
56 degrees, I believe, is what I heard.
Absolutely.
Earlier, anyway.
Earlier?
Yeah. I don't know what it is now. Anyway, I'm kind of ready for fall, though.
You ready for fall?
Yeah, fall and spring are my favorite.
Okay.
And in the wintertime, I like to do things outside even more than inside.
Okay.
Or in the summertime outside, because it's so hot in the summertime.
Okay.
But in the wintertime, then we get an opportunity to go snowshoeing or cross-country skiing, or we just go hiking.
So you just like the cold season?
I do.
Okay. Well, I like the warm season, I just, if I have to be out in the ocean, on the ocean with my little skippies, my leopard skippies, I'm good. Nah, I ain't got no leopard skippies.
Wouldn't that be funny? I'd pay money to see that.
Even the fish should go the opposite direction.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me, years ago, my husband's company, they would, do this thing, I don't know, they draw a name, and the lucky guy that got their name drawn would have to sport a Speedo.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
And they'd have to do it for just I think it's for the volleyball tournament. They had this big blowout volleyball tournament, and they'd make him wear this Speedo for the volleyball tournament. It's hilarious, but it's the name of the game.
Right.
So we've all gotten a lot older since then, so I don't know if they play that game anymore.
Right.
Anyway, it's a lot of fun.
That is hilarious.
So today's subject matter is having to do with music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you might hear some sounds in the background with us. And so that's some music that you're playing, right?
Yes.
And so we're talking about music today, or sounds, energy, frequencies
and hertz. Yeah.
Waves, hertz, and all that, how it affects you, what moods it puts you in, how it brightens your day, how it has potential healing powers as well. Just by being in a great solid state, right?
Correct. So as you guys may recall, we've talked about how our bodies are largely composed of water, and energy is transferred in that liquid system, so electrical energy. And so we, from head to toe, are basically an electrical system.
Okay.
And each one of our organs provides their part to the system.
Okay.
And each one of these organs has a certain frequency of sound that it resonates at naturally.
All right.
As it's so, if we were to dismiss or remove all of the energy around us, we'd literally fall apart, right? We'd literally fall apart. And so it's because of these sounds and frequencies and the energy around us that we stay intact. Okay. And so when your organs and stuff are not in sync with each other as far as their frequency goes, then the system starts to break down and doesn't work as well. And this is when disease can set in, anxiety, depression, things like that.
Right.
And so music has a lot of impact on a lot of people for various reasons. My first interest was, it's therapeutic to me.
Okay.
It's very therapeutic to me. And so I listen to music according to what I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
But then some years back, a couple years ago, a singing partner and I started doing a little looking into the effects that music has at a specific hertz. And so that a hertz meaning just the frequency at which it's being delivered. And so as an example, what we're listening to right now, and I'm not sure you can hear it. Ty, can you hear that? Because I'd like you to be able to hear it. So if you can hear this music playing, that'd be great.
Is it Tay or Ty?
Is it Tay or Ty?
T-A-Y?
You
Tay,
can
talk
tell.
to me. You hear this music in the
Can
background?
you hear the music in the background? Because I'd really like you to be able to hear that. But the
just say
hertz,
yes or no. Just type in yes or no, Tay, real quick.
I'm thinking I need to turn it up just a little bit.
Well, no, I think it's good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But this specific hertz that we're listening to right now is set at 999. And that is supposed to connect us more with our spiritual side so that we're more receptive to our environment on a spiritual level. Now, let's say I'm feeling like I just need to get my wits about me a little better. I'm feeling a little anxious. Then I would gravitate towards music that is at hertz 432. So there's different hertz that will address specific things that are going on electrically inside your body.
Okay.
I find this incredibly fascinating.
Okay.
In specifics, a friend of mine was telling me that another person has an arrhythmia, a heart arrhythmia.
Okay.
And was actually by their therapist and by their doctor was suggested that they listen to music at a specific hertz. And I do believe, in fact, that it's 432. But at 432, or whatever that hertz was for him, it took him out of his arrhythmic situation, or his arrhythmia situation, so that his heart took back on its normal beat and everything went back to normal. So you can see that that electrical input, that sound input, has physical impact on you. Now, what's interesting is plants respond as well.
You said plants?
Plants.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, Beck, you're bringing this to the table, which I am a very, I'm open-minded, and how the body functions, how everything functions and connects. I do believe that energy begets energy, right? So if there's a way to tap sound, rhythm into your daily movement, I think it can bring you to a heightened throughout your day, So yeah, I am intrigued about this whole topic that we're talking about today.
Well, one day we were talking, him and I, we were on the phone, and I said, I was driving at the time, I had on my speaker thing. But anyway, and I said, I had a moment, I was feeling very frustrated. And with some things that were going on with what I need to do for business that day. And he was very and so I started listening to Bob Marley.
Okay.
And before this song was over, you guys, my frame of mind had shifted from I want to strangle somebody to just kind of just enjoying the rhythm. It just turned my day around.
Right.
Now, I know that me personally, I am deeply affected by music. Not everybody is, I suppose, but I just wanted to give that as an example, how you can tweak your attitude and your physiology and how you feel by listening to specific types of music. Or not even types, guys. You could listen to rock and roll set at hertz 432.
Okay.
and still get the same benefits. Good morning, Amelia. Is it Amelia?
No,
Angela. Good morning,
Good
Angela.
morning,
How
Angela.
are you? Thank you for joining
Angela,
in.
you hear the sound behind us? We're talking about sound and frequency, how it affects the body and your mood swings, and just different vibration.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's our subject that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
I do believe that even with frequencies that runs through our body and stuff, I think the overall compass is to be in a subdued natural state of peace.
Yes.
So because we live in a society where it's a run, go, 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 go.
Constant.
And we don't have time for the body to relax, to heal, and to be at all with where you're at in your environment. So it's very crucial to pull yourself away, to get into that zone, to revive yourself back up.
Especially if you're feeling down or whatever your situation may be, you can address it with music therapy, and just by taking a restful moment. I was mentioning the other day on a post that I made on Instagram. It's okay to be selfish and take time for yourself. We get so busy with our jobs and with our children and with our spouses, and just stuff that we have to do, that we forget about taking care of ourselves sometimes. And having a moment of peace, it's invaluable. And so just if you take 5-10 minutes a day, just sit still. I won't even call it meditation. Just be still. Let your mind rest.
Okay.
Set your worries aside. Just be you at that moment. Just be you. Don't be a mom. Don't be a spouse. Don't be a this or that. You're just you. You're just going to sit still, and you're going to rest. And you're going to try to just relax your brain. And then once you do that, especially if you're listening to this music or music at a specific hertz, just that sitting still will get everything back in alignment.
Absolutely. Sometimes I go to the massage parlor, and I get massages, and I realize the certain music they play,
excuse me,
it does put me in a I fall asleep.
Yep.
And it's like, and so I think sometimes in life we need that. We need to chill out, relax. We talked about getting your bubble bath, your candles, just detoxing your mind, and just because when you're stressed out, and then you have depression, it makes your body, your organs don't function correctly, right? So it's not.
It really affects your energy, electrical energy that your body creates, and it does so your organs stop working in concert with each. Well, they still work, but just not as well, not as fluid.
Harmony.
The harmony.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we all have a resonance. I'll look here in just a second and tell you, but we all have a resonance somewhere around 68 megahertz. And so when we're in each other's space, you have your energy and I have mine.
Right.
And if we're in harmony with ourselves, then we will be in harmony.
Got you.
Okay? That's not to say that my energy can't influence yours and yours influence mine. But, you get vibes off of people when you first meet them. You're like,
Right.
Yeah. Or, I want to hug them so much.
Give them a hand.
Or I want to give you a big old hug.
Yeah.
It could be either way. It's because of that energy that they have.
Right.
And when you get close enough to them, you will actually, unknowingly, but you will sense and feel that energy in your body reacts.
Absolutely.
Either negatively or positively.
I agree with you. So that also ties into forgiveness.
Yes.
Because if you hold bitterness or envy towards somebody, your energy is changed, and you meet someone new and you still hold that in you.
Yeah.
It's just, the vibration is just off. So it's very important as spouses, couples, and partners to always try to stay in harmony. Sorry about
Excuse
that.
me.
But yeah, so it's very important to like tie in and talk about it, talk it out. Don't go days out without not talking because it's messing up your
Correct.
rhythm
Yeah,
of
well, yeah,
energy.
because if you're a couple, then when we do that, when we have that kind of a relationship going on, we tend to care about that other person,
Right.
So you want them to be energetically feeling well as well, because
True.
they will bring you down and
True.
you will bring them down. So,
True.
but together as a couple, and it's actually, my husband and I, we don't do it so much anymore. I want to get back to it because it really was neat. He'd get home from work and we would sit down for 15 minutes after he'd been home for a couple minutes. We'd sit down for 15 minutes, listen to music, and a little waterfall thing that I had, and that's it.
Oh, so he just comes home and just chill out. You guys are not doing nothing, just taking a deep breath,
Taking a breath. Yeah.
and just
Resetting the stage,
resetting it.
so to speak.
That's pretty cool.
It is. It
Yeah.
gives a moment of time between the two of you. You don't have to talk. We don't talk. We just sit there. Excuse
Yeah.
me. And excuse me just for 1 second.
All right. So as but yeah,
So
so
sorry about that.
no problem. You doing all right?
I am.
Co-host? All right.
Woke up with a drippy nose this morning. I'm sorry.
It was chilly this
Yeah.
morning. Okay.
But yeah, so just if you have that moment of peace together, then it sort of sets the stage for the rest of your evening too.
Okay.
And it helps both of you to eliminate whatever negativity you might have brought to that specific time and place.
True.
You can get rid of it, and then there you go. The rest of your night is great.
Right.
So everybody wins.
Absolutely,
So,
and that's the key. Especially, the good book talk about not going to bed angry at each other. So it's always best to resolve conflicts as much as possible.
yeah,
Because every minute, every second is not promised to us, right?
that's right.
So it's best to stay in harmony each and every day.
Yeah.
And it's not just your spouse, your co-workers, people, strangers that you cross paths with every day, going into the coffee shop. How do you treat somebody? How's your energy going into the coffee shop?
Yeah.
Are you rushing? Are you smiling at somebody? Are you saying good morning? All of that is a compass of all this energy.
Yeah. Have you ever, I did an experiment recently. I was out and about and I don't know, I was just doing some grocery shopping and what have you. And I made it my intention before I left, because I get aggravated when I go shopping. I don't know. But anyway.
Was it too crowded in there?
No, I just hate shopping. I just hate shopping.
Okay. You take a grocery list?
Yeah.
All that, you still?
I still just hate it. I just hate it so bad. But, it's not the people's fault out there that I hate it. It's just me. I just don't like it. But I'd rather scrub a toilet. But anyway, I decided this day I was going to make an effort to not be grumpy and to be, I try to be that way anyway, but, some days. But anyway, I was definitely not going to let anybody get under my skin this day. I was just going to I got this. I went out there. And so instead of dreading the action, I was looking forward to the action of shopping and interacting with people. So it changed my mindset going into the game, okay?
Okay.
So I get out there and now I'm shopping and stuff. Now, the other thing I said is I'm going to smile at everyone that looks my way.
Okay.
And even if they're not looking at me, I'm going to smile at them and see if they look up. Most of them did.
Okay.
Everybody smiled back at me.
Okay.
Everybody, 100%. And then not only that, but even those that kind of had their eyes down as I was walking past them and smiling at them, before they got past me, a good amount of the time, they looked up. Why? Because when they got close to my energy, they received that. They looked up, they see me, they smiled, and on they went.
Wow.
Now, what kind of effect do you figure that had on that person, or on myself for that matter? First of all, it made my afternoon shopping much better.
Right.
Way, way better.
Right.
But I have to think, though, that it might have affected that other person a little bit, too. Because instead of being greeted by a grumpy face,
Right.
they got greeted with a smile.
So, like you just said, you had your morning was like starting out kind of rough. Things was hitting. So it also contributes to your mind too as well. So as you're walking into the grocery store or something like you were saying, you made a conscious decision to say, you know what? Even though I'm going through this, I'm going to put a smile on my face. I'm going to enter into this space with other people
Yeah.
and give good energy.
Try
And
to,
good
yeah.
and good energy is, you're smiling at somebody.
Yeah.
You're saying hi, hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Those are also contributes to it. But the initial thing is she made a conscious decision to change her whole paradigm, right?
Yeah.
And that's a very strong point.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to tattle on myself a little bit. Just for that very reason.
So confession is good for the soul.
It is. And because it's a realization that,
right.
that I had.
Right. And a lot of people don't take accountability for how they're feeling, right? They either cast the blame or cast it on someone else.
Yeah.
But if you take ownership of how you feeling, process how you feeling, why you feeling this way, or why is someone or different ones saying the same thing about how you are, this is a good time to go by yourself, isolate, and process to come back out a new person,
So if your partner comes to you and says, "God, you're kind of grumpy,"
right?
I mean, do you dukes up and like, "Oh yeah, you think so?" Or do you go, "Yeah, maybe I am."
So you either reflecting or redirecting that energy. So you gotta take time to analyze, how am I feeling? Why would this person feel this way? And
be honest.
Be honest, and that's absolutely. I always say, don't be like, what's that bird that dunks his head in the ground? Ostrich. Ostrich. A lot of times people don't want to deal with certain situation, either in a life or a job or whatever.
Yeah.
They dip their head in the ground, but deal with the reality of how things are right now, and make changes.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Take the chip off your shoulder and make changes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these changes that we're talking about, as far as how you generally feel emotionally, you can actually change yourself quite easily. I know a lot of people gravitate towards therapy. I'm not opposed to therapy at all.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, people, to make you feel better, do it.
Yeah.
You matter enough to do that.
Right.
Okay, so take care of yourself. But as we were saying before we signed on this morning, I believe that we were given certain amounts of, I don't know the word, power, if you will, by God, by our Creator.
Right.
We were created in our Creator's likeness, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's written in the book.
Right.
Therefore, I won't discount any of my abilities that I have. I was born with them.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I have the ability to tweak my energy. You do too. Everybody does. It's not, I think some people think, no, that's reaching outside of God. No, it's not. It's acknowledging what we were given by our Creator for a reason. Sometimes we have to rescue ourselves. Sometimes we're in a situation where we need to rescue ourselves. We can't count on outside influences to fix our situation. So what do? We refer to prayer, we refer to meditation, thoughtful processes.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're feeling stressed out, or it's like, I just don't know what to do, I'm feeling I want to pull my hair out, take a minute and breathe. And I want to go over a couple of these hertzes that we've talked about, so that after you leave the show today, you can actually get on YouTube or Google, and you can look into all these different hertz settings and stuff. But I'm just going to read down the list real quick to sort of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So as an example, if you listen to music set at 174 hertz, it's going to help you with removing pain. If you listen at 285, it heals your energy field so that when I'm in close proximity to somebody, I'm receptive. I don't have this sort of rigid. So it makes you more receptive to healing. Removes guilt and fear if you're at 396. So let's say you have something weighing on you really, really heavy. You've done something that maybe isn't really horrible, but it's nevertheless weighing on you. Sit for a minute, think about it, process the information, listen at 396 to your choice of music. It will help you. 417 facilitates change so that you're more, like, as an example with your new job. You've got to learn these new things, you're going to be going. This will help you to deal with all this change that's going to be happening in your life. 432 is the miracle tone of nature. So a lot of the sounds that resonate around us are at 432 hertz. The music that we listen to on the radio is set at 432. It's common, it's a calming effect on everybody, and that's why the radio stations chose to do that. 528 repairs DNA. So if you have an injury, muscle tear, muscle pull, think about that. 639 heals relationships. So, but if you can hear this music in the background, as I mentioned earlier in the show, this is at 999. This is more connects with your spiritual side, opening your mind to receiving information, understanding, knowledge. 741 awakens your intuition. We all have it. Sometimes we turn it off and listen to everybody around us, but we don't listen to ourselves. Sometimes it's the best ears to listen to your own. And then 852 attracts soul tribe, meaning more people like you. So that when you're out and about, people like that or that are like you will automatically gravitate your direction like a magnet.
Okay.
So this is just an example of well, you can't read that at all, but just an example of some of the hertz that you can...
So let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Let me be like the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Who determines these hertz? Like, how is it determined?
So this has been going on. This study has been going on, the effect of hertz, since way back when, since World War I believe is when it started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's only been recently, like in the last few years actually, that they're learning about how hertz affect physical processes, physiology, which they did it mostly because of an emotional thing, right? They thought, well, at 432 we can keep people calm, we can keep them sort of energized, but not uppity, you know? But over the years, though, with more study, they're realizing that actually playing these frequencies to the body affects you physically too.
Right.
So
I have to agree. Like, if I was to tap into like the science background of these components, so my mind goes back to, like, if you remember being in school, the colors also play the same type of role as a frequency of music. So, like, in school, they talked about they keep the walls like a pale yellow, maybe a green in there somewhere. So what it's doing, if colors play the role of keeping harmony, keeping a more of a soft reflection, versus, like, just imagine having red throughout your school, then everybody, is like hyped up and running around, right? Yeah. So just like different colors components mean different things, I think music on dealing with frequency does the same thing too as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's my little 2 cents on that.
I think it's absolutely right. Like, I can attest to that, actually. Some years back, one of my homes, do you remember with the movie Home Alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
no! Anyway. So the color scheme of that house, when that movie came out, so it was Christmas, basically, Christmas-oriented colors, so the shades of green and shades of red throughout the house.
Right.
And I fell in love with that color palette, and so I did my whole house in that color palette.
Okay.
I painted my walls sort of a sage green, not every wall, but sage green was prominent, burgundy and plum. Rich royal colors were my palette. Well, what I found when I come home from work is my house, I didn't realize this, but my house actually was making me tired.
Oh, really?
Sleepy tired. You know,
Okay.
those colors were so soothing.
Oh, yeah.
And so pacifying that it made me want to grab a blankie and take a nap.
Right.
You know, and so my next house after that, though, in a different color palette is blues and grays and more bright colors. And now I feel energized in my house.
Right. And it's amazing to me how music, frequency, color palettes could actually change your mood.
Yes.
You know, I do, like, there's a certain music I play like if I'm in a mood, like I'm real slow, low beat movement.
Yeah.
I play a certain music, and I don't talk about me, but I like a little bit of Rick Ross. So when I listen to Rick Ross, he, you know, his hustle game kicks in, and then so it hypes me up.
Yeah.
You know, because there's certain music that I listen when his songs. So music can play a role of getting you energized or slow you down or put you in a mood. It's just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
I sometimes I talk to Alexa. I say, Alexa, so there's a certain songs that, you know, if I'm with my spouse, you know, it just puts you in a different wavelength. So I put on, I said, Alexa, play that baby making love music. You know, so and that puts you, because you wouldn't put like a more faster beat, you would put more of a slower beat. So
calm,
so I do believe that some of the different music, but what we're talking about today is more of the sounds, the frequency that does affect you. So you have the words that they're singing, but behind those words, those are what is affecting you.
Yep.
Is the frequencies, you know, all that, and those components. So you definitely have to be aware of certain type of music you're listening to.
Yep.
You know, because it does alter you a little bit.
Good. Yeah. Like,
you know.
the radio's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be playing at 432. I believe generally around that hertz is what they broadcast at. But when you're listening to specific sounds and rhythms, I don't know. I mean, some of those are going to get you fired up.
Yeah.
Fired
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
So I don't know. That's where I'm kind of curious. You know, if you were to take a group of people, and I suppose this has been done, but if you were to take a group of people as an example and take a piece of music, let's say that was pretty hardcore rock and roll, and you recorded the one at hertz 432, and then you recorded the other one at something odd or whatever.
Right.
Wonder what the impact would be on that group of people.
It's gonna
Because
be
I can take, I compose music, and I had a piece of music just out of curiosity. Whatever hertz it was at, I think it was at 600 and something after I recorded it and checked its hertz, what it was at. It was a 617, I believe. And so I wanted it to be more uniform and with what society is used to hearing. And I didn't know what effect it would have. So I put it at 432 because I was kind of targeting for that feel or that vibe. Then I listened back and I could not tell a difference between the two. So I kind of was thinking about it, and I was like, that kind of tells me then that we could be affected without even knowing we're being affected.
On a subconscious level is where the effectiveness is coming out.
Yeah.
So just like when commercials, you see on commercials, TV, you might hear or see like, oh, the Wheaties box, you know, they show it like, so it's proven fact it takes 21 times of you seeing something to like subconsciously alter you, that it'll prompt you to like go out and buy the Wheaties.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't
So
know that.
all that, you know, the words and what they say, what they broadcast, it just like you just said earlier, like you saw that movie and it made you want to create your whole home like that,
Yeah.
right? So
we had just bought a new house, and I was
right.
like, yeah, that looks great.
Right.
Yeah.
So that effect, like commercials or someone talking sweet nothing in your ears, over time, it subconsciously it gets in there, you know. So that's why it's very important. I always say, just keep the circle of people that you're around is influencing you subconsciously. And so I always try to keep my circle small.
I do too.
You keep it small, you know what you're doing. You got a whole bunch of people feeding in your ears, then you're gonna throw off, you know.
Well, I used to feel almost like a farmer of a big farm of friends.
Okay.
Always maintaining, trying to maintain, taking care of,
Yeah.
And it got to be really hard. And everybody had their own things going on. It got to be really heavy at times, and so I stepped out of that when I retired, and it was a little easier because when I retired, I was no longer in the mix, like I was before.
Right.
And so I find now though that my circle is small.
That's good.
And provides me great amount of joy and peace,
Okay.
and I like it. It's not that I don't love and care about people, I really do. But when your life gets complicated, sometimes you gotta weed the garden.
You gotta weed the garden.
Yeah,
gotcha.
so I had a big old farm.
Yeah.
And I weeded my garden.
Yeah.
So now I have a garden that's quite easy to maintain.
Okay.
And
I like
everybody
that.
seems happier.
Yeah, I like that.
Because, where are you? How come I haven't talked to you in so long? It's like, well,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you gotta
It's crazy.
cut some people
I
out.
weeded my garden.
So let's go to a great break, and then I want you to start reading what you got notes. So today's broadcast was brought to you by Impact Water. Impact Water is a pure mountain spring water loaded with electrolytes, alkaline balance, comes in a 16-ounce aluminum bottle, 100% recyclable, 100% reusable, and it's available on impactwaterllc.com. Phenomenal water.
It's great water.
Yep.
Yep, it's got everything in it that you want and need, naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah, love.
All right, so
Also,
you guys.
oh
yeah. Ta-da!
The Chris and Beck Show,
right.
coffee cups.
If you need coffee cups in your home, please pick up the Chris and Beck TV coffee cups.
Yeah, they're really
and
cool.
We'll
they have a
also
black interior.
sign every our name on every bottle, every cup that goes out. So definitely go on to the website, impactwaterllc.com.
And a portion of the profit, a portion of the sales will go to St. Jude's Hospital for Children.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for that.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
It.
All right.
All right, so let's get down to
let's
the
dive in a little bit more deeper here.
And I don't want to share this one thing too.
So as she's getting that set up, what you was gonna do on that?
Well, I'm gonna do that here in a second.
Oh,
but,
okay.
We were talking a little while ago about how plants respond to music too.
Okay.
And they respond to our voices as well.
So for anyone that just joined in and do a little recap, we're talking about sounds and frequency and how it affects you on a emotional level, mood level, to also your internal organs, your body as itself, how music affects that. There's different frequency that we have that remove pain, help with nurturing your body, repairs DNA, heals relationship. And we're talking about meditation frequencies, so different hertz. So that's what we're talking about today.
Yep, and so if you go on YouTube as an example, you can pull up whatever kind of music you want. Well, oftentimes when I pull up that type of music, it's set much like what we're listening to here, very calm, esoteric, if you will, meditative type music. But any kind of music you listen to at a specific hertz, you get the same effect, be it rock and roll at 432 or meditation music at 432, it affects you the same, because we're not talking about the sound specifically, we're talking about the frequency and hertz that it is.
Right. So you might be, like she said, listening to rock and roll or rap or whatever, but subconsciously, the frequency is what is affecting you.
Yeah.
You might be, oh, that music, the beat, and then what they're saying, you might think that's good, but on the back of you, peel it away, the frequency subconsciously is what is affecting you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what did we say? 432 is the one that is most common on the radio. And
okay.
So.
All right, so let's dig
All right,
a
so
little dive
like we were just
into
talking about, so it doesn't matter what genre you listen to, your personal preferences don't really matter, and it doesn't make a difference as far as the benefits that you reap. So, and this is according to Science Daily and the University of Central Florida's Pegasus magazine. The Power of Music by Elena Manis argues that music has such a profound effect on our brain that it could even be used to treat patients suffering from major nervous system disorders such as Parkinson's.
Whoa.
So this is actually what got my attention.
All right,
meditation has always been something that I've done throughout my life. But what really got my attention was meditating with an intention. With these specific herbs.
Okay.
And so when I started looking into it and learned about the effects that it has on some of these physiological disabilities, I was, coming from a pre-med background, I was like, what? This is way, way cool. Okay, but it also is used much earlier in life to develop children's neurological development. Exposing babies to music from a young age stimulates their auditory and prefrontal cortical regions. Now, I played music for my daughter while she was still in my tummy.
Okay.
Yeah, I sang to her all the time. I read her stories.
Okay.
Even before she was born. She listened to Vivaldi and Bach and Mozart from day one.
All right.
I don't know if it paid off, but anyway. She likes that music. Anyway, for older children, particularly those with language or mental impediments, music can be a vehicle for self-expression. Now, this is specifically going to play a key role in folks that have autism.
Okay.
Autistic folks, in many cases, they can't communicate. It's not they don't know how to, they can't. They don't know how to do it. I'm not versed in it, so I won't speak to it. But I do know that autistic people react very, very positively to sound influence, as also tactile influence, such as not from another person, but like being wrapped tight, like how you swaddle a baby.
Yeah. Okay.
An autistic person responds very positively to being sort of swaddled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it helps them to get out of their anxious moment and relax.
Okay.
So music and tactile can play a key role in those types of folks as well.
Okay.
It developed. So it's a method of therapy to enhance the development of children's cognitive, social, and physical abilities, or to help parents engage with their children. So, you remember when you were a kid, I don't know if your parents listened to the same kind of music that you did?
I don't think so. But,
I know mine didn't. No, I was listening to Led Zeppelin, stuff like that, Black Sabbath.
Right.
And my folks are into, Engelbert Humperdinck and
This is a whole different
Elvis, stuff like that. Yeah. So we didn't speak the same language when it came to music.
Okay.
But if you do, brilliant. Then you can sit and enjoy that together, and it's just another front that you can share, and it creates a nice little repertoire between the two of you as well. So lots of benefits there. So it's not only humans that enjoy music, by the way.
Okay.
Plants do too.
Plants?
As well, as well as animals. And so plants on your terrace enjoy the tunes that accompany your morning cup of coffee just as much as you do.
Okay.
And this has been shown in experiments where they play music or don't play music in a growth environment where everything is steady state. The only difference being is one has music, the other one doesn't. The plants that had music or sound, it didn't necessarily have to be music, but just sound in general, grew better than those that didn't.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me of the microwave water, not microwave water. Those
Okay.
with regular water grew great. Those with microwave did not.
Okay.
Okay, same thing here. So, although they lack the same ears as humans, several studies indicate that sound waves can boost a plant's growth And you can see it in real time, I guess, about 12 minutes and 4 seconds.
As real time that
You can see the plant responding
to the
moving.
So is that sound waves or just
The frequency that the sound is hitting the plant.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about, there's this oscillation of sound.
Right.
It's not like light that's straight.
Right.
Okay, and so as this wave comes and then here's the plant and pow, it hits the plant with every wave.
Okay.
So each time, it's affecting the plant inside, because plants are good amount of water as well. A lot of water too.
Okay, the vibration.
Yeah, their entire circulatory system, in fact, is water.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so your plants aren't picky as far and far less likely to complain on your taste of music. So it doesn't matter what you play.
Okay.
And like I said, it could even be just noise. They just like having sound around them. Animals, however, are a tough audience to please. In one study that looked at how music can affect animal physiology, behavior, and welfare, they concluded that laboratory animals were affected by the species of the animal and the type of music they were exposed to. So not everything holds the same for every animal.
Gotcha.
So it's just different for everybody. Those that listened to classical music slept better, while body shaking indicating nervousness was observed in those that were exposed to metal music. See, plants don't care. You can play whatever. Animals care. And I know that when I'm doing my rock and roll, I like to sing and play rock and roll music.
Okay.
My dogs aren't too keen.
They don't like
No, they're going to probably be somewhere else.
Okay. They don't like it.
Not too much. What were you going to say?
I don't remember.
But again, plants, though, they don't care what you play. Let's see. So animals in captivity seem to enjoy music up to 60 decibels. And so that contributed to enhancing their welfare. They
Interesting.
Like that. Yeah. In keeping with the overall attitude, though, cats couldn't care less about what you listen to, but can still enjoy songs made especially for them.
Interesting.
Cats. Cats. I'm a dog person, but I also have 2 cats.
So, listening to so far what we're talking about, dealing with sounds and frequency, if you guys could chime in and let me know what's your thoughts on the music, the creating a peaceful environment or going into an environment with your energy, right?
Yeah.
So energy begets energy. So and we were just talking about ways to administrate the energy and how energy from sounds affects you, right?
Yeah.
So
So real quick, we
what you got?
This is really, really cool. I just found this, it's a couple weeks ago, but didn't do a deeper dive until just yesterday. This fella has created, this team of people, I should say, has created this gadget that it's called Plant Wave, I believe.
Plant Wave.
Plant Wave.
Okay.
There's other people that have created similar gadget. It's basically an electronic gadget that's set inside a bamboo box, and they connect electrodes to a plant, and they've taken the algorithms of the movement of the cells inside the plant and set it to certain tones. Okay. So that each plant will elicit music according to their own circulatory system. So it's actually the flow of the water in the leaves and the trunk and so forth that it's measuring. I'm going to play a little bit of this and hopefully you'll hear it. I think it should play fine. This is crazy. This is an electrode that's been connected to a tree. This is music that plants are making.
I really enjoy listening to philodendron and snake plants. Any plant that inspires me along the way on a hike with a beautiful view.
Let's tune into the sounds played by this plant.
Let's see if I can.
So what he's doing right now,
We just attach 2 sensors to a plant's leaves, and Plant Wave detects these slight variations that are happening in plants based on them moving water around. We graph those variations as a wave, translate them into pitch, and then run those pitch messages through instruments that we design. So the result is this continuous stream of pleasing music that gives us all this sonic window into the secret life of plants. As many of you have been asking, what would a redwood tree sound like? Let's see what melodies it creates when we connect the plant wave. If a plant is really underwatered, it might play just a few notes, whereas if a plant is really healthy and thriving, it will be going through like the whole range. Looks like we have a plant here that may not have made it through this heat.
Yeah, that sounds
So
coming
let's
out
check
of
it
that
out.
one.
Let's see if it can make any music. Yeah.
So this is just kind of showing some of the experimentation that
When
they did.
I water the plant, let's listen. Every plant is different and every leaf is different. So here we are listening to Mr. Rubber Tree. And now it's
Isn't that fascinating? I just found that to be so fascinating.
that's interesting.
And so there's this new study also. So this all relates to this frequency of energy and stuff. And so the sound frequencies that we get with our music and conversation, trees are affected, plants are affected. And then we have this thing called grounding, where you go outside without shoes and socks on.
Oh, and I heard about that. And just walk on the grass, the ground, and you get electrical magnetics from the feel of the earth. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So according to the science that I've recently read, it actually can cause your red blood cells to separate and become more fluid inside your body. Well, if it's doing that for your red blood cells, it's going to be doing that for everything.
Right.
Red blood cells are just easy to track and see because they're bigger cells in your body, so they're easy to see. But can you imagine though, let's say someone has a coagulation issue with their blood, meaning they tend to clot too readily, or perhaps they don't clot at all because of hemophilia. Music could possibly affect that.
Okay.
This is where science is going. You know, just like when we were talking about 3D meat, new science.
Right.
This is kind of new science. Yes, we've known about hertz and frequencies for years and years and years. 100 plus years.
Right.
But we didn't understand and are still trying to understand better the effect that frequency and hertz has on our physiology. If it affects our physiology, it affects our mental status as well. We know how we act. We don't have a headache.
Right.
Are we smiling? Generally not.
No.
So if we can take care of our physiology, we can also take care of our emotionality, and then life should be a little bit easier.
Sounds good.
So
Beck, this was pretty good. So what Beck showed you earlier was this, a gentleman was doing a study on plants, and to able to tap he had 2 electrodes that one went onto the leaf, one went onto the speaker, and the box, a transformer box, to able to transform what the plant is going through, vibration mode, and translate that so we could hear it. So he also talked about the more water the plant have, the more they went through all the frequencies.
Yep.
You know, so it's the same thing with us. It takes 3 days for our body to go through some serious changes if you're not drinking water. So, and it's just amazing how God created us, that 3 days we need water, right? We can't survive past those marks. So every day we need to fuel our body with water, you know, and I know that sometimes I get busy, I'm on a run, I'm going, and then I feel my body weaken. But as soon as I drink good, healthy water, natural spring water, I feel that vibration of strength coming back to me. So I think it's very important.
It is.
To
Because if
have
you
that.
think about it,
Yeah.
the components of your body, let's use blood as an example. And we
Okay.
had a beautiful graphic not early on when we first started doing the show, and it showed an artery with blood cells flowing through it. Inside that system is your cells flow through a liquid system, right?
Okay.
So if you're dehydrated, those cells don't have that same river to swim in or float in.
That's true.
And so consequently, they can become compacted together.
Right.
They can become sticky,
Right.
causing other issues. Because then now we're talking about possible, clogs in your arteries, things
Right.
like that. Probably not atherosclerosis unless you have a high fat count.
Right.
But nonetheless, because we are supposed to be 60 to 80% water, if you get down below 60%, your machine is not going to run very efficiently. Just like if you need gas or oil.
Oil in your car.
You gotta
That's
have
true.
oil.
Yeah.
Burn that engine up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same thing with water. You will burn that engine up. So
Right.
you've got to put water. You've got to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. And you have to eat proper food and nutrition
Absolutely.
for those cells to work right. So the approach that Chris and I have taken with the show, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know it's been really, really fun to talk about this stuff with you guys, but our approach is this. Understand the influence that you can have on your own health and take steps to make changes.
Absolutely.
So that you can live your best life.
Absolutely.
Emotionally, physically, and everything in between. So music is just part of that. Because of the health effect that it can feasibly have on you, that's why we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
But there's so many components that go into this picture. And the biggest picture of all is we just want you guys to have your best life.
Right.
Do the things that you can do that's going to be good for you and your family and everyone around you. And a lot of the things we've talked about are easy changes.
Absolutely.
Don't cost anything other than your normal grocery bill.
Yeah.
So, there's small steps,
Yeah.
but if you take them, you'll feel better.
Absolutely.
So if you have interest in this and what we've shared today, or if you have interest in any other subject matter for that matter, just being human, the human experience, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we'd like to talk about it
Absolutely.
with you. And share our own experiences and hopefully hear back from you as well, because we want to know. The name of the game here is to share the human experience,
Right.
and hopefully offer some light on subjects that maybe you're just not that familiar with.
Absolutely. And like we talked about earlier, is just bringing light to it, highlight to our everyday living, right? What does that look like? What does that come into our everyday living? What do we deal with as a normal citizen or a normal human being to live in this environment, to live here on earth? What does it look like, right? So that's main core of our topic is just the everyday living and bringing light to it and having dialogue back and forth. How can we help each other? So today was a great segment. It was a more of a calm segment, I believe, that we're able to talk and to be at peace, be at one, right? And stay positive, you know?
Yes, that
Absolutely.
Positivity piece is so very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I liken it to a pebble that gets thrown into a still body of water. If you're the pebble, and you chunk it into the water, what happens? You get a ripple effect, right?
Right.
So if you're the rock and you're a happy rock, that ripple effect will be positive. Everybody that you touched that day, spoke to that day, interacted with, brushed up against, whatever, you will have had a positive effect.
Right.
If you go in like an angry camper and you chunk your rock in, you're going to have a negative effect. So I guess the question is this. What do you want? What do you want from your life, and what do you want for others?
Right, absolutely. That was good.
That's the question I always ask my friends when they're trying to sort things out. It's like, what do you want?
Right. Right, because there's some people are people pleasers, right? But when you give out and no good energy is coming back to you, you're depleting, right?
Yes, yes.
So, like she's saying, Beck is saying, is what do you want, right? So a lot of times we've been created to find love, right? Love is one of the key. We talked about love a long time ago in our segment.
Yeah.
Love is a strong frequency. It's a strong component of who we are as human beings, because we're designed to love, to want love, to give love, right? We're designed that way. So, like you said earlier, it's like, what do you want? You know, those are the questions you have to ask yourself.
I've asked myself this question numerous times throughout my lifetime. When I was in college, after my daughter was born, contemplating going back to work. What do you want?
What do you want?
And then go get it.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
Either go get it or make subtle changes, right? So changes don't have to be abrupt. Some things you might need to make abrupt change, but some things is little by little, right? And you start changes. It's like a ship out in the sea. Just a little turn, it directs it a whole different way.
Yeah.
So this little subtle changes will make your life a lot better.
Yeah.
And just, if you take time, just examine and reflect, how was I last year? How was I 4 or 5 years ago? What changes do I need to make now to change my outcome to 2 years from now, 5 years from now? And it all starts now, right? Absolutely. So,
And appreciate who you are and where you've come from.
Right.
You're where you are because of your experiences, okay? And love yourself more.
Absolutely.
We're so good at loving everybody else. Give. I'm asking you to love yourself more.
Right.
That's not being selfish.
Right.
By loving yourself more, you're giving your best self to those around you.
Right. Absolutely.
So
it's just like the when you go fly a plane and the steward just said, put your mask on first. So what she's saying is, you got to make sure you're at 100% first to able to give energy out.
That's
you
right.
know, so if you had
I
20,
can't be of service to you if I pass out
exactly,
too.
Right. So
you know,
absolutely. But the biggest thing from today's show that I like is just having a peaceful aura about you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because there's people around us that is going through a lot. And we need to be at a capacity that we can love on them, encourage them to make it through. And then when they change, it's the same thing as you gave their ripple effect with the rock in the river there. Then they can also help others.
Yes.
You know, so it's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
And it starts with you.
It does.
You know, when you wake up, it starts with you. How are you going to present yourself today? So something just hit me. Every day is a resume, right? How are you presenting yourself to the market today? You know, are you going to be angry, mean, upset, bitter? Are you going to be like complaining, hurtful, they hurt me? Or you could control your resume. Your resume say, I am positive. I am a nurturer. I like to help you. What can I do for you today?
That's really a great analogy.
Oh, yeah.
Really great analogy.
Yeah.
It's your calling card.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what comes out of your mouth.
What comes out of your mouth.
That's your calling card.
That's your calling card. So.
Anyway.
That was good today.
Music therapy goes a little bit deeper than just the warm, good, fuzzy feeling thing.
Yeah.
It actually affects you physically.
Yeah.
So,
all right. That was a little deep. Yeah. I got a little emotion there.
Yeah.
So, moving forward.
And so, just real quickly though, did you notice, so we both, I think, were a little kind of more subdued according to what our normal shows are like. Normally
but the music is definitely calms you.
Yeah.
It does. So.
And do you feel good?
I do feel good. It's more of a, it's more of an inner feel, reflecting, peaceful thing.
Exactly.
You're right.
So
Exactly.
if attack starts coming at you, you can feel it off.
Right, absolutely. You can walk it off, shake it off,
Yep.
shake it. You know,
It's all right.
I saw that little meme with Shaq, the shake it off.
He's so funny.
But yeah, that was a good show today.
Glad you liked it. It was
Our
great.
show next week will be next Tuesday, if everything goes good, at 4:30 p.m. We're talking about, what were we talking about, San Diego or
I think we're going to look into not just San Francisco specifically. And
Okay.
actually, I'm going to see if I can get my sister to come on
I've
the show.
been hearing
My
a lot
sister
about
works
it
for
lately.
the USDA.
That'd
And
be
so
great.
she's plugged into a lot of these things that are happening as
Okay.
far as disease in animals and
Yeah.
things like that. She's very plugged into that. So she might be a good brain to pick. And
What
so
was
what
our
we want
top-
to do is we want to look into water and the occurrence of monkeypox.
Yes.
There
So-
was a specific location mentioned. I don't want to mention it because I
Oh.
haven't done my due diligence
Right.
to look into it yet.
We have to do the research first.
So I want to look into it and see,
Yeah.
first of all, is this a real thing? And secondly, where is it happening? Thirdly, who's on it? Fourthly, what am I going to do about it? And so
Exactly.
on. So
Yeah.
this will be next week's show.
And I think that from just different ones, when you come in contact with people, I know we're, as a human society, we love to shake hands or give hugs. But we just have to be mindful as we go into this new subject matter, monkeypox,
Yeah.
for next week at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, it'll be 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Yep.
And if you're on the West Coast, it'd be 3:30 time frame.
Yeah.
So once again, Beck, it was a pleasure working with you today, talking to you.
Great
It was a
show.
great show today.
Appreciate you guys joining
Yeah,
us so
thank you.
much. Tay.
Absolutely.
And sorry, I don't make Angela. I'm so sorry, Angela. I could make out your last name, not your first name. Thank you,
You need
guys.
them glasses, huh?
I know. I'm old.
No, you're good.
Appreciate you so much
Yeah.
for jumping in today.
But yeah, so I know I'm talking, but really think about what we talked about today. You know, what do you have to do to put yourself in a great state?
Yeah.
You know, does it take a warm bath with candles? Does it take a long walk in the park? What does it take to sit there and just meditate on some good music or sound music? What does it take, you know, that you able to heal your body internally?
Yeah.
And you could speak it, manifest it, that I am healed. But you can also meditate and relax, get into a peaceful state, and just heal your body within.
I mean, ideally, if you could just sit and put a headset
Yeah,
on,
and just
close your eyes,
yeah, absolutely.
give yourself 10
You
minutes.
have those powers. Everything that God designed us,
There for a reason.
we have those powers. So I encourage you today. I really encourage you.
Hello.
Hey, Mallory. Yeah,
Nice to have you.
please go back and listen to this broadcast today.
This is a good
Mallory.
show. We were talking about the effects that music and frequency and hertz has on our person physiologically, not just emotionally.
Right, absolutely.
So I think you might find it really interesting, Mallory. You might want to go back and take a look. But I think we probably ought to sign off. But
Yeah.
next time we talk, we're going to be talking about monkeypox.
Monkeypox.
Monkeypox in
It's
water.
coming. So
It might be here. We're
we
going
have
to
to
find
be
out.
aware. All
I'll
right.
let you know.
All right.
Have a beautiful day. Be that great pebble when you're thrown into the water that everybody that catches one of your ripples goes, oh, she's so awesome or he's so awesome.
Absolutely.
Be that rock.
All right. As we turn it off.
Thanks, you guys. Have a
got
great
that.
day.
All right. All right. To the left. Yeah, right there. And then, yeah. Okay.